What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. There are moments in history when a single unanswered question becomes more dangerous than tanks, missiles, or even war itself. A question so heavy that entire regions balance on it like a cracked foundation. Chechnya is standing on exactly such a question right now. And that question is painfully simple. What happens after Ramzan Kadyrov dies? Not if, because, guys, we're all mortal, unfortunately. But after. Because despite all the Instagram bravado, staged workouts, forced smiles, and theatrical displays of internal loyalty to Putin, everyone inside Chechnya knows the truth. Kadyrov is not here forever. His health is failing, his grip is weakening, and the system he built depends entirely on one thing: fear directed from one single man. Remove that man, and everything beneath him starts to shake. The Kremlin understands this, the clans understand this, the armed men understand this. And most importantly, the people of Chechnya understand this. Succession is coming, and it is going to be ugly. Ramzan Kadyrov did not build a state. He built a personal kingdom, one that functions only as long as he breathes. Every level of power in Chechnya flows through him personally. Loyalty is not to institutions, not to laws, not to even Moscow. Loyalty is to Kadyrov himself. His face is everywhere, his name is everywhere, his approval determines who eats, who commands, who lives comfortably, and who just disappears quietly. This system worked for one single reason only: fear mixed with money. Moscow gave Kadyrov unlimited funding and total autonomy in exchange for one promise: do whatever you want, just keep Chechnya quiet. No separatism, no rebellion, no international embarrassment, nothing. And for years, Kadyrov delivered. But this model has a fatal flaw. It cannot be inherited like a crown. Fear cannot be transferred through blood. Respect cannot be passed down like a luxury watch. Ramzan Kadyrov earned his authority through violence, war, and direct participation in the blood-soaked chaos of post-war Chechnya. He was there. He fought. He killed. He survived. The men around him know it. They saw it. They remember it. They fear it. His son, on the other hand, Adam Kadyrov, does not have this history. Adam was born into palaces, convoys, bodyguards, and social media performances. He did not earn fear. He did not earn respect. He inherited privilege. And in Chechnya, that difference is everything. So, can he become the rightful ruler of Chechnya after his father's passing? Let's try to answer this question in our next chapters. On paper, Adam Kadyrov looks like the obvious successor. He's the son, he's protected, he's publicly promoted, state media already treats him like a future ruler, he's shown firing guns, training, receiving medals, delivering rehearsed speeches, but none of this translates into real authority. Inside Chechnya, authority is measured differently. It is measured by scars, by battles survived, by betrayals endured, by blood spilled personally, not ordered from a distance. Adam Kadyrov does not command fear. He commands mockery disguised as silence. And yes, he can beat unprotected teenagers on camera. We all know exactly the moment I'm talking about. And then just suffer no consequences. Yes, he can spend unimaginable amounts of money without accountability, he can act untouchable, but none of that earns loyalty from men who fought 2 wars, who lost families, who buried entire villages, who remember Russian tanks rolling through Grozny. They are literally walking the streets and they see those images in their heads. These men are not impressed by Instagram theatrics or metrics, how many followers he has. They're not loyal to bloodlines. They're loyal to power they can feel in their bones. And Adam does not have it. Worse than that, Adam does not even understand the rage he would be ruling over. He did not grow up in the ruins. He did not see his city flattened. He did not live through the disappearances, mass graves, collective punishment. For him, the dark past of Chechnya is history, something just written in school books that his teachers, professors just force him to read as homework. So he's annoyed. I don't want to study. I want to drive Mercedes. For us, it's a memory. A memory does not fade just because money flows. You cannot buy silence forever, especially not when the man buying it is gone. So, what are the most probable scenarios to unfold inside Chechnya once Ramzan Kadyrov is no more? Let's talk about some of them in our next chapter. Once Ramzan Kadyrov is gone, the real Chechnya returns. Clan politics, rivalries, old grudges, sound calculations, Everyone who smiles today is already preparing for tomorrow, basically. The inner circle that appears loyal is filled with men who have waited decades for an opportunity. Some will see Adam as weak, others will see him as disposable, and some will see him as an obstacle that must be removed quickly before Moscow intervenes and protects him. This is how power collapses in Chechnya. Not with speeches, not with elections, but with sudden deaths, with disappearances, with betrayals that happen overnight. If Adam takes the throne, he will not rule. He will be tested immediately. His authority will be challenged, not in public, but in private rooms, by men who have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. Rival clans will sense blood in the water. Old alliances will break and the new ones will form. And violence will no longer be contained to whispered threats. Civil war is not some distant fantasy, it is a very real scenario. Chechnya is heavily armored, the population is traumatized and well educated in one thing, how to wage war, obviously. I mean, kids of the 90s who ran the streets with AKs fighting against Russians are now officers and generals. They know what they're doing, they were born in the war, they know all kinds of it. The loyalty to Moscow is only transactional, not ideological for them. If Adam shows weakness, and most likely he will, the region could descend into internal conflict faster than the Kremlin can ever react. And Moscow knows this, which brings us to the most dangerous option of them all. The Kremlin hates unpredictability, and Adam Kadyrov is unpredictability wrapped in arrogance and experience. Moscow may decide that gambling on him is too dangerous. In that case, the alternative is simple and catastrophic. Appoint one of their own. A Kremlin-approved strongman, a loyal administrator, a stabilizer, somebody who answers directly to Moscow, not to Chechnya. On paper, kinda, theoretically, this solves the succession problem, right? Kinda. Well, in reality, it ignites something far worse. Chechnya tolerates Kadyrov because he is Chechen. Even those who hate him understand the unspoken rule, better one of our own than a governor sent from Moscow. Because the moment that changes, the entire social contract collapses. A Kremlin appointee will never be accepted, not truly. He will be seen as an occupier, a puppet, a reminder that Chechnya never escaped Russian control. It merely outsourced it to a local tyrant. In fact, some of you guys might know it, the Kremlin tried something back in 2001. Sergei Abramov, the guy with probably the most Russian first and last name possible, ruled over Chechnya for a whopping 3.5 months. And then he conveniently got into a severe car accident that should have killed him, but, well, he managed to survive. He was then dismissed by Ahmad Kadyrov and, well, since then not a single Slavic Russian ever held a major government position in the Republic. End of story. So we basically already got a preview of what will happen if the Kremlin tries to appoint their own to rule over Chechnya. Long story short, resentment will not stay quiet, especially not in a region where memory is long and forgiveness is rare. Moscow might keep order with force, but force breeds resistance. And resistance in Chechnya has a history the Kremlin desperately wants to forget. The question is not whether instability will come. The question is whether it will come quietly or violently. Ramzan Kadyrov understands all of this. That is why the succession question terrifies him more than anything else. Not Ukraine, not sanctions, not even Putin's favor. His real fear is what happens when he is no longer there to hold the lid shut. Adam Kadyrov is not a solution, he's just a delay. A fragile placeholder in a system that demands brutality, experience and fear. The Kremlin's interference will only accelerate collapse, and the people of Chechnya will once again be caught between Moscow's control and their own unresolved past. Once Kadyrov is gone, the illusion of stability will shatter, and when it does, the world will see what was always there beneath the surface. A region just held together not by loyalty but by fear, not by unity but by exhaustion. And fear does not survive its master. Well, there you have it, guys. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. If you want to support our work, the links down below. For example, Patreon membership, where there is an additional chapter at the end waiting for you guys to see. Thanks so much for watching. See you tomorrow.
We won't succumb to their tricks, the facade they try to sell. Their twisted words and feeble claims unresolved they cannot quell. We see through their lies, their feeble attempts to sway. We do not believe in ridiculous Russian propaganda.